It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today. My friends, I'm excited for this one. It's a Friday, it's the end of the week, and I've got a Masterpiece Friday for you. We're going back to music from The Who today. Y'all, it's going to be a fun one. I have been on a bit of a renewed kick and interest in the band The Who. Just recently on Patreon, I listened to Tommy, the entire thing, the entire double album for the very first time, and I was amazed at just how little of that album I had actually heard. And I enjoyed the story, I enjoyed the music, and I've been thinking about The Who ever since. And in the wake of that video, I was reminded of their classic live album, Live at Leeds. And many in our community had made the bold declaration that this is one of the better live albums of that era. And then when I got to looking into it, others have ranked this as the best live rock and roll recording of all time. And I've only heard one track from it. So I wanted to get into it. And when I realized how short the entire album was, the original entire album was less than 40 minutes. I decided to schedule it here for our side at a time treatment on the Daily Doug. And so because it's a Friday, I thought, let's do it. Let's get to side one of Live from Leeds and see what sounds The Who were making back in the day. And I'm glad that you are with me. So the concert was recorded on the campus of the University of Leeds, on Valentine's Day, actually, February 14th, 1970. There was also a concert at the Hull City Hall the following day, but it looks like there were issues with that recording, and that led to just 6 tracks from the Leeds show being arranged and prepped for professional release. And there you have it, friends. We've got Live at Leeds. So the band had waded into the rock opera genre with Tommy the year before, and they were seeking to have a follow-up to that very successful album, but a lot of the music from Tommy had proven to be a little bit difficult to recreate live with all of the overdubs, and so they retooled a bit and booked this show at Leeds University with a specific eye towards releasing the footage as a live album. And their sound on this live album was quite a bit more of a hard rock and blues effort than what they had composed for Tommy. So it goes together and shows you the range of the band. So today we're going to listen to side one. And on side one we have Young Man Blues, Substitute, Summertime Blues, and Shakin All Over. We're going to listen to 4 songs today, and it's going to be really great. But before we get to the music, I am pleased to again welcome Skillshare as a sponsor of today's video. Skillshare is an online learning community that I've been a member of for a few years now, and they are the largest such community in the world, with thousands of classes led by industry professionals across a wide selection of topics, including film, illustration, music, productivity, photography, and much more. And this summer, I am back into a class that I've been wanting to take for quite a while. It's on the guitar. I've got one right back there, y'all. I am finally learning how to play the guitar and how the guitar works. My classical training did not involve the guitar, and I've turned to Skillshare to help me learn at my own pace in a learning environment that is specially tailored to my current skill level. And with Skillshare, I'm determined to turn my I want to learn the guitar into I made that happen. And it's a real exciting thing. So, as a special offer to my viewers, the first 500 people to use my link in the description of this video will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. It's time for you to make it happen with Skillshare, just like I'm doing. Okay, y'all, with all of that being said, let's get into some of this music by The Who. I have to tell you, though, before we start, I tried to get the original version of this, the original version of these songs, but the only original version that I could find on YouTube was straight off of some guy's vinyl, and it didn't sound great. So I am making use of the most current and authorized versions of these performances as published by the band, and the version that we have is expanded from the original with extra tracks. And I thought about, well, do I use all of these extra tracks or not? Well, here's what I'm going to do. I am recreating the original side one with the live tracks that are available on this deluxe edition. And we're going to recreate the experience and listen to it like it was the original full side one of the album. I've got it set so that it's going to go all the way from the beginning of the side to the end, and we're just going to hang out and listen to a side of music just like we used to, right? So we've got Roger Daltrey on lead vocals and the harmonica, Pete Townsend is on the guitar and backing vocals, John Entwistle is on the bass and backing vocals, and Keith Moon is on the drums and backing vocals. We start off with a song called Young Man Blues, and this is a cover of a song by a jazz artist named Moise Allison from his 1957 album Backcountry Suite. And The Who had been covering this song for several years, and during this era it was a regular part of their live shows. So let's get to it, y'all, and see what Live at Leeds is all about. Here's side one, starting with Young Man Blues. Off we go. All right. Boy, that's got a live sound, doesn't it?
Well, a young man
Ain't
got nothing in the world these days.
There's Keith on the drums. As only Keith can do it.
I said a young man ain't got nothing in the world these days. Well, you know, in the old days, when a young man was a strong man.
Man, Roger,
all the people,
your voice is
they
great.
Step back when a young man walked by.
Lots of color.
But you know, nowadays, it's the old man. He's got
I love
all
the stopping
money.
and starting.
And a young man ain't got nothing in the world these days. I say, he got nothing.
They're complaining that young men have nothing in the world these days. Young men are still complaining that they don't have much in the world these days. Listen to the bass line, y'all. And whistle on the bass. And of course, Pete ripping it up on the guitar. Big sound. Big. I mean, just listen to how well that is mixed. And it's mixed well because they're playing well together. They're all, you know, Roger's not singing right now, but just listen to him. young man is walking. Nothing in the world these days. Ain't got sweet fuck all. Awesome. I've got the set where it's going to keep going, y'all. So the next song up is called Substitute.
We like to play 3 selected hit singles, the three easiest.
So this banter is only in this new deluxe version.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was our first number 4, and Happy Jack, which was our first number 1 in Germany. And funnily enough, our first big hit record in the States. And I'm a Boy, which according to the according to the Melody Maker was our first number 1 in England.
First
I think
number
for about
1 in
half an
England.
hour.
This is Pete talking, by the way.
Right, here we go. Starting off with Substitute.
Substitute. Ha! That was Keith in the background. Okay. Yeah. This is the new the version of Substitute that's available from The Who, and it includes this deluxe edition stuff at the beginning. I don't think that was in the original. So here, hang on a second. I know I've got it going, but I want to talk about this a little bit. Isn't that interesting how the deluxe version has that banter at the beginning, and they originally didn't? I don't know why they didn't include that from the very beginning, but there you go, friends. Pete said that this tune was partially inspired by the song "The Tracks of My Tears" from Smokey Robinson. How about that? And in that song, there's the word substitute that's in there in one of the lines, and Pete decided to take that word from that line of the song and craft a new song around the idea of being a substitute, of being a stand-in. It's a guy who realizes that he's the stand-in for the guy that his girl really wants to be with. And so there you go. The band released it as a single, and it reached, like you said, the top 5 in the UK. I don't think it was on one of their actual albums. I think it was just a single. So let's keep going with Substitute. Off we go.
The fact, I see right through your plastic Mac. I look all white, but my dad was black. My son of this suit is really made out of sack.
My fine-looking suit is really made out of sack.
With a plastic spoon in my mouth. North side of my town base is that the east was faced and south.
It's just a major 1.
Now you dare to look me in the eye. Those crocodile tears are what you cry. It's a genuine problem you won't try. You working out at all, you just pass it by.
That's the 5 to 5.
Substitute
Indeed.
me for him. Substitute my Coke for gin. Substitute you for my mom. At least I'll get my washing done. Substitute your lies for
Substitute
fact.
your lies for
I see
fact.
right through your plastic Mac.
big crescendo. Is that how the thing ends? Hang on. Because now we're into Summertime Blues. That was a really abrupt ending to that tune. Substitute. I don't think I'd ever heard that. That's a really cute little tune, actually. I enjoyed it. So, Summertime Blues. While we're here, let me tell you about this a little bit. Another cover. I've actually heard this one, y'all. This actual recording. This tune was written originally by American rocker Eddie Cochran. And I first heard this song back in the day from Alan Jackson as a country song. I think that was in the 90s. And this particular recording, this Live at Leeds recording, this is the only song that I've heard from this particular album before. I heard this during our Songs of Summer fan favorites episode last year. And I remember very much enjoying it, and it stuck in my mind. I got to get to that Live at Leeds. So here we are, right, doing it. So let's get to it. The rest of Summertime Blues. Here we go. That's in May. That's John Evans singing that. What a great tune. And appropriate for us. We're just getting into June here, so it's just now getting to be summertime in the northern hemisphere.
Sometimes I wonder how I'm gonna do. There ain't no cure for the summertime blues.
Let us not overlook Keith Moon's insane drumming. It's just all over the kit. Up a step. Tune it up, boys.
Sometimes I wonder what I'm gonna do. There ain't no cure for the summertime blues.
Cool. Just a great tune, isn't it? Great rock and roll tune. Right. Okay, the last one on this side is called Shakin All Over. It goes right into it. Another cover. I don't think I've heard this one.
When you moving right up close to me, that's when I get the shakes all over me. Quivers down the back.
That's cool. I'm just getting the feel of old time, good old fashioned rock and roll. It's still good, y'all, and it sounds so warm. Just popping. Could be happening right now.
Quivers down the backbone.
Quivers in the thigh bones.
Shakes in a needle. Quivers in a Bible. Like shaking all over.
Keith down there. Nice. Wow. Straight ahead in A, Mixolydian. I'll let Pete solo. I'll stay in the rhythm section. How's it gonna end? I always think of this when I hear live recordings. How do they end songs? They get stuck in a loop. It's kind of going to the end. Up to the 5.
Quivers down a backbone. I got the shakes in a needle. Quivers in the Bible. Shaking all over.
No, it's the 1 chord. Yeah. We don't get live albums like that anymore, do we? I didn't get a chance to talk much about this last song, Shakin' All Over. It's another cover. Isn't that interesting how they've got only one original song out of these 4 on this side of the album? Shakin' All Over was originally performed by Johnny Kidd and the Pirates, reaching #1 in the UK in 1960. It sounds rockabilly, doesn't it? Like it was from a slightly older generation. They included this in their Woodstock performance, it looks like, The Who did, and here on this one. And it's the first time I have heard that one, y'all. Shaking all over. It's cool to be able to stop and start the songs so efficiently as they do. A couple of different tunes in here. They're stopping and letting Roger do his thing vocally, and it does more than just involve everybody in the music equally. It it really does a lot formally to break up the sound that might get overbearing. If you're used to hearing a bunch of bass and a bunch of guitar and drums, and it goes on for way too long and it's all loud, you can get fatigued. At least I do. And so those dips in sounds where something breaks, even if it's just for a couple of seconds, or it goes into a different section and comes back, are helpful for us to process and experience the songs on a deeper level. It really does. The rhetoric and the form of the way that they're doing these really does, when they do it right, help everybody experience it more palpably. Right? And speaking of palpable, I gotta agree. I found a quote from Geddy Lee, right? Y'all know who Geddy is. And I have to agree with him. He said back in 2011 that this album, Live at Leeds, sounds so alive even today. Right? Geddy says it's a real piece of that period of rock and roll. It's like a bootleg. The artwork, right? The artwork was designed to make it look like a bootleg anyway. And he says the tone of the music, he says it was so raw. And I agree with him. It's just four guys. You got a percussionist, a bassist, a vocalist, and a guitarist. And you smack them together and they're just all at the height of their powers there in the late 60s. That's cool, y'all. I really enjoyed it. And as I look forward to side 2, we're going to get to side 2 before too long, maybe about a month. And there's only 2 songs on that side. There's a very expanded version of My Generation. I've heard My Generation before, but not this version that's on Live at Leeds, as well as a song called Magic Bus. And I don't know that one, but I'm excited to get on the Magic Bus, y'all. But I think I need to wait until next time to finish up this album. We could have done the whole thing today. I'm still just pumped after hearing those 4 songs. But I think I'm going to leave it there, friends. It's great to get back to The Who and remember their sounds. They're still at it, too, y'all. They're doing their thing, and they're just one of the great legacy rock and roll bands that exist. And it's wonderful to go back and enjoy some of their tunes today. We've been listening to Live at Leeds from The Who. It's been side 1. It won't be too long before we get to side 2, y'all. Thank you very much for being with me today and this week. We'll see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.
It's the Daily Doug. Welcome to the Daily Doug. The Daily Doug.